Hi, this is Rebecca Partitillo at Aromatherapy Institute, and I'm here today with Katie Morris, who is one of our recent graduates of our Aromatherapy certification program, weekend intensive 4-day program. How did you like it?
I really was amazed. I found the information and the relationships we made just invaluable. I consider it a true craft.
Mm-hmm. And you came from a long ways. Where are you from?
From Maine.
Maine.
Yep.
Okay, and we're down here in Florida, so you got away from the blizzard. And
I did. And I noticed that there was a lot of places to train at, but I wanted a qualified place, and I did my research, and I stumbled across quite a few websites, but as soon as I saw this one, I knew that this was right for me.
Yeah. Did you find us on NAHA
Yes, I
or
did.
search Google?
Yep,
Okay.
on NAHA.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah, we are an accredited school, and that was very important to us because we wanted to make sure that we met the self-regulated standards that are set forth by the Aromatherapy associations, and NAHA being the National Association of Holistic Aromatherapy. We want to meet and match their standards and go far, exceed them. And so in this intensive program that we did for 4 days, you actually earned your certificate as an aromatherapist for the first level of the foundations. Are you planning on continuing your studies?
I am. I plan on doing the clinical, then level 2 next, and just definitely being a lifelong learner because it's just, endless.
Oh,
well,
it
all
is.
you can learn
Very.
from different people, and I think that was, being in person, you get so much more than just yourself with a book and trying to mix oils,
Right.
and there's more of a component to it when you add other people and.
What did you think when you first signed up for the course? Did you think that it was just going to be mostly just lectures, or did you have an idea in mind of what were your expectations for it?
No, I didn't, because you actually said what you had told us is what we got out of it. It said lectures and hands-on, and it wasn't just sitting there for so many hours a day just listening to someone lecture. It was a lot of interaction and a lot of good feedback. Everybody comes from a different background, and they're here for different reasons, but everybody wants to be a competent professional in this field. They want to know how to help people in the most effective way.
Yeah, and so many different walks of life,
Yes.
aspects of how they can
Yeah.
incorporate aromatherapy into their practice. We had several massage therapists in the group. We had a lady who does skincare and a professional esthetician, and she develops her own products, and so that was part of her reason for coming. And I think you also were maybe interested, did you say, in the spiritual aspects of the oils or the
Yeah,
emotional
Yeah,
aspects?
that's what kind of drew me too. You had some background in like the Old Testament from the Bible, and nobody else is doing that I had seen, so I knew there was a lot of wisdom in that, and I appreciated the spiritual side of it.
Yeah, we had a great time, didn't we?
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
fun.
we did.
What was probably one of the most memorable things that we did in the weekend that you really stood out for you?
Oh, that's a hard question. There was a lot. Probably, I came down here to find out kind of like the quality of oils that I'll be using and the methods, and to make sure that I would be, utilizing them to the best that I could for people, to heal people, because I didn't want to be one of these people who's just grabbing some peppermint oil and saying, this is good for your headache, and I learned there's so many different species of each plant, and there's just so many different things you have to consider when you're practicing.
Right. We did spend a lot of time on the quality of how to judge a quality oil, the GCMS, understanding the chemical components.
The chemical components.
Did you like the
yes.
chemistry that we covered?
I really did, and I want to learn more about that. I think once you have that in your mind, you're more able to pick out ones that match and that work and
Right.
within the right families. And
How did you like when we were doing breaking up into groups and doing our consultations with each other. How did you like that?
That was very helpful for me to actually put it into practice because, like, just to sit down and to interview somebody and to learn the personal skills to make them feel comfortable and then to go back and I just researched everything I put together for my person that I interviewed and you know, we had all the material there so we could do that.
And so after you interviewed your client, you spent a few hours doing some research and study in putting together which oils would be the best blend. And then how many blends did you make?
For that particular person, she was actually very easy. She didn't really have any complaints. But for her, I made 2.
Okay.
And it was like emotional based and for a little bit of pain. So for her particular needs.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I think we did, 8 or 10 or maybe even 12 blends over the whole weekend.
Yeah,
and
because I have a pile on my
I know you got a lot of
room,
things
so-
to take home with you, don't you?
Yeah. It was,
Yeah. I think we made some diffusers. Would we also inhalers?
Inhalers
Yeah.
and
Body lotion.
body lotions.
Right.
I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and it really depends on what the blend was for. You know,
Right.
we were trying to choose what would be the most beneficial
right,
for
the
the
best
client.
application
Right.
and-
Yeah. So tell me about just some of the classroom experience with the ladies and the people that were here. We also had a gentleman.
Yep, we did.
So tell me, how was that for you?
That was really helpful, and I expected it to be. Of course, the interaction with others, you're getting different perceptions, people from different backgrounds, there for different reasons, and I noticed everybody in the class made a point to get to know everybody.
Right.
You know, nobody didn't just pair off. Everybody wanted that experience, and it was neat because we were all coming in different in that aspect, but like minds.
Right.
Everybody was passionate. There was so much energy in the room, and
Yeah.
everybody's here because they want to be.
Right. Surprisingly, at the end of the day, when I was cleaning up and tidying up, everybody was still wanting to hang around, and nobody wanted to
I know.
go home. You know,
I felt bad
and
that you
then
couldn't
kept
get home early.
spending hours making their blends, and and carrying on and
Yeah.
having fun,
There's
and
just because it's
Yeah.
not work. You know, when you're doing your passion, it's not work for
Right.
you.
Yeah.
So
do you have a favorite, essential oil or thing that you
I am
sort of
maybe-
gravitate
maybe
towards?
because I'm from Maine, but definitely the pine and balsam
Oh, that's
fir.
right. Okay.
But I do love the citrus too. Those are actually the
Right.
first kinds that I bought were citrus and pine. So.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Both of those are very bright, energizing, help perk you up. Yeah, those are my favorites too. Well, tell me about what, we talked about the in-person. Now, I know you had options and you looked at other schools to compare. Were you looking at online versus in-person or?
I really wanted to do this first step in person because in the past I've done, we can all have books. We can have great books. We can go home and learn a lot from, but it's the interaction with other people. And I knew that you had done this for quite a while and that you had been actually all over the U.S. And so I knew you had met a ton of people. So just by meeting you, I feel like I was going to be, have that benefit.
Now, how was it different from just picking up a book on Amazon or a Kindle book, reading about aromatherapy?
Yeah, I mean, say you're going to go ahead and make your oils. You can go ahead and do that, but someone's going to add like the girl the esthetician we had, she does the prayers over hers, and because there's a big spiritual component to these oils, and I think that needs to be tapped into and recognized when you're working with them.
Yeah.
And, but just, I mean, being in person is it's so much easier. You're wondering, oh, am I really doing this right? Or, you have tips because you've done it for so long that, mentoring is always better
Yeah.
to me than book.
Yeah. One of the unique things that we bring to the table, or at least in this school, is our healing matrix of aromatherapy. This is something that I've come up with on my own and have written about, but I like to share with people in-house how to make blends for multiple conditions, and not to follow a recipe, because you can find hundreds and hundreds of recipes on Facebook, Pinterest, but to come in and to know how to blend for a particular condition or multiple conditions and be able to cross-reference the oils. We know the chemistry of them, so we can break them down and understand what we really want to bring into that blend.
Right.
To bring total healing to the body. So that was something that, we thought of was unique for us. So your favorite part of the class was maybe in the blends, or was it the consultation?
I didn't really answer that very
Yeah.
well. Probably, probably the interaction from everybody and gathering all their little tidbits and their little
Right,
things that
right.
they would add that you just are not going to get from just reading a book.
Right,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, so.
The relationships, I mean, I'm sure that, it was all, meant to be, and
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really fun to
it's
see
a good,
that.
good
Yeah.
connections that you have with people.
Absolutely, yeah. So what about the resources and the materials that we had here available?
Oh, there's plenty. I mean, there's plenty of books. I was thumbing through them all, trying to decide which ones do I want, and they're also very good. We had plenty of resources. We could reference all of your books that you wrote here while doing our stuff, and
Now, in this class, we covered 20 essential oils, but we had over 66
Oh, yeah.
essential oils here, and we had multiple carry oils, things that you may not necessarily find at the health food store, but, we had a lot of carry oils to add to try and experiment.
yeah.
So you could go home and maybe pick those up if you can get a hold of them to make your own blends. So.
right. There was just a lot, with the blending, because there's so much to consider, so that you'll have a product that's, going to work for somebody.
Yeah.
With all, even some of the people in the class didn't realize just all the carrier oils. My word, you have a whole option with all of them.
Right.
The ones that's going
Yeah.
to work the best, and for the condition, you always have to consider, this person, this herb may be. This oil may be good for this person for this condition, but they have a secondary condition that it's not good for, and there's just there's just a lot that
A
you
lot
have
to
to know.
consider,
Yeah.
right. And we definitely covered a lot of the safety issues with using the oils. I mean, we spent a lot of
Oh,
time
yes.
on that too, because we tend to forget that part of it and, want to rush in and just make a blend for someone, but not
That's it.
realize we have to take a lot of things into
You
consideration.
do. You do. I realize
And
that
understanding
even more now.
safe usage of the
Right.
oils. What would you leave with someone if they're looking at this website or considering taking this course with us? What would you want to say to them if there's somebody looking at making
I-
a comparison?
I just think, like, if you're just first getting into it, especially, I just really think that the in-person would be the way to go. It just teaches you so much more. You're so much more, I think, rounded, and you have a question, you just ask
Right.
it. It's not like you're sitting there wondering, email or something, but
Right.
it's you can just get all of your questions answered. And there was no, like, it was a free class. It wasn't like, we're shut off at 6 p.m. and we can't talk to you anymore. It wasn't anything like that. It was very laid back, and it was just a good
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun on our breaks, didn't we?
Yes.
Ate a lot of chocolate.
Yeah, we did that.
A lot of snacks, a lot of breaks, and a lot of fun. And we have our facility set up here in Florida where it's nice and warm. We like to have a lot of fun. We have a couple of break rooms, kitchens, lounges for people to rest and have fun. Hotels are right down the street, so students can walk if they want to. There's plenty of places to eat around here, so we had a really good time. Thank you, Katie, for taking a few minutes and answering the questions and for being here with us. It was such a fun class, and I enjoyed having you. And that's Rebecca with Aroma Hut Institute. Hope you'll come and join us.